What's going on, Pre-PT Nation? We have another great tip request question today from an applicant asking, if I have a 3.3 GPA, what can I do to bump it up so I can still get into PT school? Or can I even bump it up enough to get into PT school? Now, I'm assuming that this applicant is asking about their cumulative GPA, which I'll tell you a story. We had an applicant several years ago who came to us who had a 2.45 cumulative GPA. And most of you, when you see that, you may think there's no way that this applicant was able to be successful and get into PT school. What if I told you that that applicant was accepted into 5 PT schools and had their option of where to go? And you're probably thinking, how is that even possible? How did that happen? Well, it's because we use the strategy that we use all the time with applicants here at Physical Therapy Application Coach and focused instead on prerequisite GPA and last 60 credit hour GPA. These are the two coins of the realm. Now, when we look at this, when GPT programs are evaluating applicants that they are considering for their program, by far the number one area that they are evaluating for the vast majority of programs is what your prerequisite GPA is, because that is the most indicative statistic that they have that shows how you do academically with the content material that you are going to be studying in PT school. If you're someone who has a low prerequisite GPA, you are at a higher risk of not doing well in the DPT program with the content material that they're going to be covering. So your prerequisite courses are anatomy, physiology, physics, chemistry, biology, statistics, general psychology, exercise physiology, different things like that. Those are the areas that programs are evaluating, these kind of harder, higher level science classes, because that's what you're going to be learning in PT school. Your last 60 credit hour GPA is your GPA looking at the last roughly 2 years of earned credit that you've had in school. And when you look at the last 60 credit hours, there are a variety of factors that go into it, but by and large, you should show that your current last 60 credit hour GPA is higher than your cumulative GPA, okay? And this can always fluctuate, but if you are someone who has a lower GPA, focus on prerequisite GPA and your last 60 credit hour GPA, because that is oftentimes how DPT programs are evaluating the students that are applying to their schools. They understand that there are people who start out their academic career and they struggle, and they may have a first year or first 2 years that their GPA is not very high, but they want to see that you've figured it out with your prerequisite classes and your most recent earned credit that you have. So again, using that strategy helps someone who had as low as a 2.45 cumulative GPA get accepted into multiple DPT programs and have options of where to go. If you are someone who is struggling to know if your application, and in particular your GPA scores, are where they should be or where they need to be competitive to get into PT school, you can send us a DM to inquire about our industry-leading consultation coaching package, where we sit down one-on-one with you for 30 minutes and we look over your application and give you a game plan to get you back on track if you feel like you're lost and confused. This can be a lifesaver for applicants who have a lower GPA, or they may feel completely lost or hopeless about what to do with their application. There is hope. There is an opportunity for you to still be successful and get into PT school. So takeaways from this video: know and calculate your prerequisite GPA. Know and calculate your last 60 credit hour earned GPA. And if you know those things, go and compare them with the programs that you're looking to apply to and see what their averages are for their accepted students. Most programs don't publish their last 60 credit hour GPA, but they do publish their prerequisite GPA on PTCAS. So we recommend that you go and you compare that. And if you are 0.2 lower than what their average accepted is, you're okay. If you're lower than that, so let's say the number is a 3.7. If you're at a 3.5, you're probably okay. If you're at a 3.4 or a 3.3 prerequisite GPA, you may need to take a long, hard look at your courses and retake some classes. And if you retake those classes, you can swap out the courses where you did poorly with these newer grades where you did better. And that can overhaul your prerequisite GPA, which is the most important factor when DPT programs are evaluating your application. Hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have additional questions like this one, don't forget to submit them to us via our story on Tip Request Tuesday. And if you haven't already and you're still working on or you're struggling with your application essays, don't forget to register for our upcoming Essays Masterclass that's going to be held on August 24th. You aren't going to want to miss it. Our last one in July was fantastic, and this one is going to be great as well. Take care, and you can get signed up using the link in our bio or in our story. Have a great rest of your day, and happy applying.